Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, my apologies. And then again, it's Wind Down Wednesday. And here it is. I am chilling with you guys. I'm tuning in for another week. Last week, it was Sisterhood Wednesday. This week, pretty much, was Sisterhood Wednesday. But I really wanted to wait until now so I could come on because I had to go and celebrate a friend of mine's birthday party who birthday was yesterday. So I had to go and make sure that I sent my happy birthday wishes presently. And like I got to be there. I got to put my body there. I got to present myself so they could touch me and give me a hug, and I could hug them too, just to wish them a happy birthday because they've been there for me, and I wanted to make sure that I was there for them. So, with that being said, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm here, and it is Wind Down Wednesday. And y'all know who I am. I'm Sandy. I don't have to introduce myself, but for those that are looking for the first time, I just wanted to let you all know who I am. And it is Wind Down Wednesday. I'm hoping that my dear friend Shanice will be tuning in shortly. But we are busy. We are busy women, regardless to if I am retired or not. I am still a busy woman. I still have things to do, places to go, and people to see. So, with that being said, I want to say welcome and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys every week because if it weren't for you all tuning in and watching every week, we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't be here to say kudos to you guys. It is Wednesday, and of course, my church, Corinthian, is on live too, doing church, and I always try to make sure that I am a part of the church thing. And there is my dear sister friend
Hey,
there going on. You know how we do it. But it is Wednesday, and it is Wind Down Wednesday. So we're sitting here before you. We're a little behind the eight ball, but we're really not behind the eight ball.
we
But
right on time.
we are on time because I do believe in you're never late, that you're on time. You know, we know we're supposed to be in certain places at certain times, but I don't feel
But
like
it's been busy. We got busy. We have busy lives. We got stuff happening. It's getting warmer out. We're being invited to things. So yeah.
definitely warmer out. Definitely warmer out. My thing is that I want to make sure that we tune in and we say hello to you guys, so you all know what's going on with us. So it is Wind Down Wednesday, and I am actually trying to look at church at the same time, but I don't know if that's going to work. I'm probably going to have to log them off and just tune in to Wind Down Wednesday and do it differently somewhere else. But anyway, here we go. We are back. It's Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. What's going on, Ingrid Rachel? Let me tell you something. Today's
Hey.
topic is going to be thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. But before we get into the topic for today, because I promise you, I feel it's going to be heated, but we'll see what happens. What's going on, sis? How your week been?
Oh, it's been good. It's been swift. The weather's been up and down. My allergies been kicking my butt, but I know, right? Other than that, I can't complain. It was sunny today. We got some sun today, so I was really loving and feeling that. So yeah, I mean, more sunny days are coming, but we gotta
Yes.
we gotta get the rain. We gotta get this rain going.
And that we got to get all of this, the pollen and the mold or whatever it is, out the way. A couple of raindrops got to come in and shower down on us so we can, for those that have bad allergies, they can overcome it and they can get through it, and they hopefully and prayerfully it'll work out for them. But at the end of the day, thank God that we're still here.
Yes, for
We're
sure.
able to celebrate life because there's some that can't do it, that are
Yeah,
unable to do it and can't sit here and talk about doing it. So uh,
yes. How was your week?
my week been phenomenal. It's like I'm chilling, I'm relaxing, and anytime the sun shines, well, let me take that back. Anytime I can wake up in the morning, I'm thankful and grateful. You know,
A second chance
if
for
I
sure.
could roll over, I'm thankful and grateful for another day. So that's
Mm.
what I'm doing. That's how it's going. Family is well, all is well, everything is going good. I'm drinking my kombucha. You know, I got to still maintain that the healthy lifestyle. You know, although it is wine down Wednesday, I'm not gonna tell you we don't sit here and drink wine, but you know, tis the
Not
season.
all the time. Not all the time.
Not all the time, but you know, we got to sit here and we got to make sure that we maintain the healthy lifestyles as much as possible. So anyway, let's move right on down into the topic because this is my question.
All right, let's hear
People
it.
are in relationships and they be in relationships for a long period of time. I mean, really a long time. But here's the thing that I find so different or difficult to understand. And I'm not, you know, first of all, let me not say this. Y'all know we love the Lord. We
For
love
sure.
Jesus, and we do not, and I mean, I repeat, we do not talk about individuals that are preachers, ministers, deacons, saints, and friends. Although we say, you know, tell everybody, we really mean to tell everybody, but we're not talking about nobody. But I don't understand is I was listening and looking the other day, and it popped up on my page, period. It just popped up in my phone that Marvin Winans, who is a bishop in Detroit, a preacher, well known singer, gospel at that, came from the Winans family, has been
Okay.
dating a female for 15 years. Now, I ain't knocking the man from being a minister or a child of God. I'm not. Bishop Noel Jones, same thing.
Oh my
All these
goodness.
preachers, and they got these churches. And I'm not speaking bad or ill will on any minister, on any preacher, or bishop, or anything, because I know better than that. I've been taught better than that, and the word tells you in the Bible, don't do that. But what I am trying, my point is that I'm trying to make is when these men date these women, date, do the quotation marks. I don't care how you want to do
When they're courting, as old school say, courting, you know.
date, courting, whatever you want to call it, seeing you're in the relationship with that female. How is it that you can date them or see them for years, for years, and
Easy.
not not be engaged, not ask them to marry you, but then later you realize, oh, I might need to ask her to marry me. We might need to get married, but it has been years, years. What has been going on for 15 years, 5 years, 10 years, however many years that you've been dating this woman and you are a preacher, you are a man of God in a relationship with a woman? You are calling her your female or whatever she's supposed to be to you. How is it that you're in that relationship with them for all those years and you, I guess you maintain celibacy? I don't know. But then all of a sudden,
First
it's
of all,
like,
we gotta answer the first piece first. Look, the first piece is I'm gonna say a forever girlfriend. Right? Sounds comfortable. That's what it sounds like.
but
And
you're
for
a bishop.
me,
You are well known. You are well known over and throughout the whole country. You preach every week
it's
throughout to
it's easy.
your
It's easy.
and you got a girlfriend, but you have never asked her to marry you until now, and then you get married. What happened all those years prior to that?
I mean,
What were you
my
doing?
thing, my thing is this: it's easy, and I say that it's easy, and I keep saying it's easy because it has been allowed. It's
But
been allowed. Like as a woman and as a female, it's been allowed. Like what was her expectations? Why, what made it okay for her to be a girlfriend for that long? Like, was she just like, well, if I ask them or if I say something, I'm gonna mess up my chances? You know what I mean? Like, What's up,
Right. And I'm with you, Nidra.
Nidra? Yep.
What's holding you back from getting married? You know, Anthony says to be human is to err, for a man, for no man or woman is perfect. No, they're not.
True. That's
And you
true.
act as if something is new. No, Anthony, I'm not acting like it's new. You're a bishop, you're a preacher, you're a well-known artist, a musician. You preach the gospel every day. You marry people on a consistent basis. You are a man, and we all know everybody got feelings, everybody got needs and wants and whatever.
And emotions,
Tell
yeah.
me that you ain't slobbing on somebody, and you ain't kissing somebody, and you are up there preaching to the world.
Nidra said bad example.
You're preaching to the world. You're preaching the gospel, and it tells you don't fornicate. You know, don't do this and don't do that. You know, don't check up. Don't do. You know,
But
it's
and
a thing.
yeah. And but even as a human, like where's your desire in, like you said, marrying and stuff like that? Where's your desire to be? Is the desire even there to be married?
And see, my thing, they are. I agree. And that once again, let me say this again. I'm not speaking ill will against any preacher because I'm not bad mouthing nobody that's in the ministry. I know better.
It's just a question. It's just a
I
question.
don't want no ill will to come upon me because I know better. My thing is, they are, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, Anthony, are the biggest hypocrites. My question once again, what took him 15 years? Bishop Winans, bishop, let me say bishop. He's over a congregation. He's married many people. What took him 15 years? And I don't know. I wasn't in his house. I wasn't in his bedroom. I wasn't none of them places. He recently asked her to marry him. Then he turns around and gets married shortly after that. Make it make sense to me. What happened that you
So he married her. He married her, correct?
He married her. He married a girl. He's been involved with for 15 years, whom also has been coming to the church. He's preaching to the people.
That's a different type of patience. It's a different type of patience.
It's more than patience. My thing is, and I don't know if they've been sleeping together, or I mean, I'm sure they've been visiting each other's house. You know, we're talking about 15 years.
Yeah, for sure, for certain.
I don't know of any man or female, to that matter, can go 15 years without having sex with somebody that you are in a relationship with. You are particularly in a relationship. Now I can see 2-3 years you're going without sex. 15, and you're in a relationship with that man or woman, and you're not having sex. Biggest hypocrites, and that's why some folks shy away from the church. They look for guidance.
Sure.
I totally agree. And when I say they just got married this past weekend, I think he recently asked her to marry him. So the engagement was short-lived. He went from the engagement immediately to a wedding. What took 15 years for that to happen? I'm not a preacher. I'm not a minister. I might be the deacon, saints, and friends. But I ain't up in front of people preaching the gospel about what's right and what you should do, because the Bible says that, and then you're not doing the same thing. And
it's true.
Maybe she put it on notice. Hey, and she maybe didn't want to be.
Possibility. I mean, that question, I think it's a loaded question. It definitely be something I would want to ask her, because my thing is, especially when it comes to that aspect, that's what's allowed. Like, not saying that, you know, some women put conditions, and I'm not saying put condition on anyone, but it's like, okay, I can see 3 years, 4 years, but 15 years, like that is a long time. And that's a long time.
You're just getting married. Did you know you wanted her to be your woman or your wife 5 years into the relationship?
Right. What happened that sped it up? What happened recently that just sped that up real quick?
Exactly. What came about? And I don't know, you know, and I'm sure we will never get to ask this question, but why are you in a 15-year relationship and your intentions are not to marry that individual? There is no common law in the state of Ohio. Trust me.
No, that's no longer. That is no
That no
longer.
longer exists, and I do know it ain't in the state of Ohio. That
They
is
don't
not
honor that anymore.
no, that's a wrap. It's not common law in the state of Ohio. There are a lot of states. There are some states that do common law, but Ohio is not one of them. Ain't no
Not
common
anymore.
law. If you married or you ain't.
And the thing with the common law thing, it don't matter because if the person passed away, you ain't getting nothing, so it don't matter.
And I'm
Like
like,
you stuck like Chuck, and you just done wasted a bunch of time.
and that's crazy to me because my thing is that
Is he sick? Did he get sick? Is he sick?
I don't know, but he's old. I know. Well, let me say this. I believe he's older than me. I would say the man is about 70. I don't know, but he looks good for his age.
Ooh.
Close to it. You know, if he ain't, he close.
Ooh.
But my thing is this: I'm almost freaking 60, and I'm dating with a purpose. My purpose is with the intent to get married. I'm not dating nobody. Now,
Just to be chilling.
5 years ago. Now, you asked me this 5 years ago, I'd have been like, that would be a no. I'm never getting married. You'd ask me, I'm never getting married. You'd ask me 3 years ago, I would have been like, no, I'm never getting married.
Yep.
Thanks be to God. You know, my mindset changed, and a lot of prayer, you know, and a lot of therapy and talking and whatever else, and
a lot of action. You know,
I have now changed that because I'm not dating anybody without the purpose of them intending to marry me, because tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. Why would you be in any relationship with someone? You're still in that relationship 5 years and you ain't married her yet. You ain't even asked her to marry you yet. You know, and we walk around here, women have problems and some men, when women ask the man to marry them because she's ready to move forward, but he's not ready for whatever reason. But you've been dating for 5 or freaking 10 years. What part is it that you don't know about them that you might need to know that you ain't ready to get married?
Well, that's a loaded question, boy. I tell you. I mean, like I said, that's some Jesus patience. You hear me?
A whole Paul, Simon, Mary, Joseph. That's a whole lot of patience from everybody. You should know, if she got your back and he got yours, what is the problem? What's the problem? You know, if you can trust them and you've been trusting them for 15, 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years, 5 years, what is the problem? What is
and I'm sure it's people out there that have I know people that have really dated longer than that, and I'm like, what else do you need to see? Like, I mean, after 10 years, like, what else do you think you missed? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand.
I mean,
you should have in that 10-year span. You should have had a blow up. You should have got mad. They should have seen your man. You should have seen they mad by now. They attitude process, like all that. I mean, come on now, what we doing?
I mean, what do you want? I mean, what are you expecting from them? You know, what for them to change after 5, 10, 15 years? You should know how that individual is. I mean, I know. You know, change happens with everybody. You know, there's something that you learn about an individual every day. I don't care how long you've been with them. I don't care how long you've been married to them. But at what point do you not feel the need to ask that individual to really be a part of your life? At what point? Because I don't get it. And I still say he is a man of God. He is well known. He is a bishop. He is preaching to a flock.
Right.
And he has members that he has married.
Right. And then and with that hasn't given you any desire to, like, hey, we've been together for a while. I've been marrying a lot of folks. It's been ministering to me. You know, let's get married. You would think.
Because you would think that your soulmate after 15 years would have been your soulmate 5 years ago. But it took you 15 to get engaged, and then shortly after that, you get married. I mean, do I believe in love at first sight? Yes. Do I believe you can fall in love with somebody immediately? Yes. But do I also believe that things take time? Absolutely. But how much time do you need to give an individual before they realize or you realize either it's going to be a waste of time or you see something and this is coming? But as we say all the time, you have to communicate because you never know. If you don't talk about it, you ain't gonna know about it. If you don't ask them what their intentions are when you meet them, and the bad
That's
thing,
right.
individuals' intentions change along the way.
Right. Truly.
It changed along the way. But the thing is, what's your intention? Theirs may change, but
Gotta
what's
write it and make it right. Gotta write it and make it plain. And you gotta be able to say, hey, this is what I'm accepting and this is what I'm not. I'm not putting a time capsule on you, but I know for me, I'm not willing to accept that.
and I'm like, 15 years. I heard that, and then I saw the wedding. I was like, what?
So was the wedding how was the wedding?
It was beautiful, beautiful. And people were, I mean, it was, beautiful. She was gorgeous. He was not, I mean, it was just,
At this point, they're like, about time. We've been waiting on y'all.
and then you make an announcement. You make an announcement in church, say by a month ago. I'm engaged now. I want the people of the church to know. I want the congregation to know that I'm engaged now. Come on up here, girl. Let the folks see ring. And then a month later, you marry her, or whatever the case may be. I mean, like, well, what happened before?
That's all I can think of is maybe something major happened where, like, okay, I need to expedite this situation, because otherwise, I mean, if you've been cool for 15 years, why not take it along another 5 more? Make it 20.
I mean, because my thing is, I'm like you. What's the difference between 5 years ago and 15 years down the road?
Right.
I mean, what's the difference? Why you didn't ask them to marry you before, and why you wait to 15? But I guess my whole thing is, and I'm still stuck on the fact that he's a bishop and a minister, a preacher, and a musician, well-renowned musician. He ain't just anybody.
Well, that may have something to do with it, because a lot of times with.
Come on now, 15 years, 15. 15.
We wanted to make sure she was real deal, I guess.
He should have known.
That's what. Hey, but here's the thing. That's what a prenup is for, But it's the folks. It's different. It's different nowadays. It's different.
I mean, everything is different. The unfortunate thing, yes, it is different. People are different, and times have changed. Times have truly changed, and
drastically.
People see things in a different way. I mean, people do things differently. They see things differently. So, I mean, I still say again, what took so long? Why now? And what happened? It shouldn't wait. You shouldn't, I don't feel you should wait that long to be asking somebody to marry you or to be your bride or to be your husband. I mean, but who am I?
Right.
I mean,
I agree with you.
I'm sitting here. I'm a nobody.
I mean, we somebody.
I mean, yeah, I'm a nobody to that.
Well, but I mean, I guess to each his own, and it's crazy to me. It's like I don't know if you're familiar with Jim Jones or not, but he had been with his girlfriend for a long time, and she proposed to him because she like, bruh, it's been about 5-6 years. Like, what we doing? And to my knowledge, now they still ain't married.
And see, that's my thing.
So I've been your girlfriend all this time. Now I gotta be your fiance for another 6 more years. Like, bruh, I know.
And then once again, men getting their feelings because a woman ask them to marry them because they say that's not the traditional way to do things. But we have not been in the traditional way of doing things for a long period of time.
Well, true.
There are a lot of things now that just isn't traditional anymore.
No. Which is unfortunate, which is sad.
It is. I mean, so if she's asking you because she's ready, because that's a clear indication that she's
for
ready.
Sure.
she is ready to get married. That's a whole clear indication,
For sure.
you know. And then you still at the 15
Thinking about it.
years, you got to think about it.
Oh, we'll see. Let's stay engaged for a little while, see how that feels.
But
Like,
you,
why?
but you're good with playing house. You're good with playing the piece of husband and wife, but you're not good to move forward in the real and the
In
right,
the actuality.
right,
Hmm.
in the matrimony piece.
That's
Make
unfortunate.
sense. And it is unfortunate, you know, and I don't understand it, and I probably would never understand it. Because
Yeah.
women are we're different creatures, you know, and at the age some of us are now, it's like you would rather. I was just talking to somebody today, you know, they're older, you know, and they want to meet somebody that they can spend the time with and hang out with and do this with and do that with. But and I told them, then you got to cut back on having so many stipulations. You got to cut
And
back.
I had a conversation as well with
Yeah, you got to
somebody, because
cut
I'm
back on
like,
having so many guidelines. You know, if
we
he's not
yeah,
good,
we talked about these checklists, and
yeah,
we talked about like how back in the day, the goofy or geeky type guys, they would never get no time. And like the guys that, they wore name brand this and name brand that, and they got this and that, you would get them time of get day, but those guys would be jerks. And the ones who would be, book smart, or, math, no math real well, or seem kind of goofy, those would be husband material. But we look
right,
past that because we're looking at the outer. And instead of getting to know the person's heart and getting to know who they are, we look at the material things that they have and how they look, and how they dress and things like that. And I understand physical attraction is the first thing, but sometimes it's what you need, not what you want. It's whatever God
exactly.
gonna put in your life, and that person gonna take care of you. And they might not look the greatest, but they may be the world to you.
They
But
look,
a
that's
lot of
right.
times, especially women, can be very shallow when it comes to stuff like that. Like, oh, well, he ain't got on he ain't got 7 figures, or he ain't got 6 figures, or he driving a Honda. I'm in a BMW. It just be little small stuff like that where people mess up
Yep,
the guy that's right there in their face, that's been trying to get their attention, that they ain't paying no time of day to.
none.
Those be the husband material.
Yep, the ones you miss out on, but you've been with somebody so you've been in a committed relationship, so-called, I guess, committed relationship for 15 years, and you've been seeing that one person for a long period of time, but all of a sudden, after 15 years, you'd be like, oh, by the way, babe, can we get married? And what you feel about, well, what do you think about, or what do you want to do? If we get married? Now you want to
What
ask
do
the
I
question.
want to? Right. What do I want to do? We've been waiting on you. What you talking about?
We've been walking around here, he-heing and ha-haing and laughing
I
and
know your family. You know my family. We done
yeah,
traveled out of town with each other. Like, what we doing?
the family reunions and all of that. We've been kicking it and having a great time. But now all of a sudden,
What's the rush?
you want to get married. You want to get engaged, and then you want to get married right after that. What took so long, and what
It's
was the
different. It's very odd. It is very odd, peculiar.
It is very different. And I've seen both of them. Both of them. Bishop Noel Jones, please go look him up. And Bishop Marvin Winans recently asked their long-term girlfriends and whomever to marry them. Anthony, let the
Right.
church say amen. Some wives, husbands don't appreciate what's in the house until the dynamics of the house change. And the dynamics of the house changes when that person is no longer there.
Well, there you go. That's a big change.
That's the dynamics of what takes place in the house. It's like
They don't piece out.
when you no
Right.
longer have that access to that person in the house, then those dynamics will change. or when you absolutely positively have no more access to that person, period, then all of a sudden you want to, oh, I'm so sorry. Can I come back? Can we get back together? Well, sometimes it's a little too late.
Right.
You don't appreciate what you had until that's what the saying is. You don't appreciate what you had.
Well, yeah, you never miss a good thing till it's gone.
Well, don't, when the well run dry, you get mad because that water that was in there is gone. And the next water
Right.
you get ain't gonna taste the same. Ain't gonna even look the same. Ain't gonna even be the same.
Totally, totally, totally different.
So it's in your best interest to appreciate what you have, why you have it, when you have it. Because as we say all the time, tomorrow is not promised. And I was just talking to somebody again today, and they asked me, and I was like, Lord, I don't even know why they asked me this question because it was just out the box. What happens if you only got 3 months to live? What would you do?
Right.
I'm like, I'm praying I get to see tomorrow. What you talking about 3 months? I'm praying that I make the rest of the day.
Listen, right. I get to go to sleep tonight.
Because my thing is be thankful and grateful for what's in front of you and what you have now. But my thing is, if you are dating someone, all of y'all out there, hear what we're saying. Hear what I'm saying. Shanice is married, and I know what I'm doing at this point in age in my life. If I cannot date somebody with intentions to marry before I'm 60, because that's my whole goal, before I'm 60, and it could happen tomorrow. But what's going on, AJ? All the way from
Jamaica. That's what's up.
Hey, get that sun in, girl. Get the sun in. I love Jamaica.
Yes, eat some of that good food.
Get that sun and that food. Make sure you put on sunscreen though, lots of it, because you don't want to get sunburned. AJ, talking about being in relationships for a long period of time, 10, 15 years, and then all of a sudden you're engaged and then you get married. But in particular, deacons, missionaries, saints, and friends. Keep having a blast because life tomorrow ain't promised. Bishops who have been single for years and in relationships with women for years, all of a sudden realize, they realized it back then. They need to get married, and they get married. But I still got an issue. I still got a main problem. You are in a relationship with someone and you're preaching to your congregation
about marriage, about relationships,
about marriage,
God's word, and
infidelity and the fornication and what God don't like and accept. But how much of that are you doing?
Exactly.
Your own self as a minister or a preacher. And it is like Nita said, it's unfortunate because a lot of people shy away from that because they feel that the preachers and the bishops or whomever are hypocrites. Because if you and I are somewhere out, even at a restaurant somewhere, and then the bishop or a preacher walk in with some other female, we'd be like, well, that ain't their wife.
Right.
But they cozy and happy up here sitting down talking.
Right.
15 years being in a relationship, you don't ask her to marry you. What is the holdup? What is the problem? 10 years. What's the problem?
And we can flip it. I mean, we can assume that it's him, but maybe we could say maybe it was her. We don't know. I mean, we're in different times now, so a lot with us being in different times, a lot of the characteristics women are taking on of men and men are taking on of women. And so it's just so much chaos in the earth right now. So I mean, who knows?
It's hard to say, but I mean, I guess on the bright side, if the bright side, he did.
They did it. They finally.
And
they finally did.
On the bright side, they are
married. But we gonna keep our eyes open. And we'll be listening out for these names to see what happens next.
I know Bishop Jones is not. Bishop Noel Jones hasn't married yet, but he did ask her to marry him. and Bishop Marvin Winans asked her to marry him probably a month or so ago, and then they are married now. But don't let it take you guys forever too long. I mean, if you love that person and if that person is willing to, and then you know they your ride or die. I was talking to somebody else not too long ago, a while back. He is involved with this female. She said she got 2 years
2 years before 60. If
if
it's
it's
not
not
happening, I'm
happening.
single.
Well, I guess if it ain't happening by the time I'm 60, I'm cool too. Ain't got no choice. But that's my goal. That's my goal. At least I'm saying it now. At least I'm saying,
She
you
putting it
know,
in the atmosphere.
yes, my daily prayer is that God sends me my husband and the one he wants me to have. It's like, and then of course you gotta, you ask God for what you want, and you normally, if you believe in it, you get it. But I used to not say this. I did. I mean, me getting married. Oh, good luck with that. I would be single for the rest of my life. I wasn't trying to get in it no more. I'm good with my lifestyle. I'm good with what I'm doing. But over time and as years come and go, you change, your mindset changes, and you look at things in a different way.
Because of experiences and because of thought process. And a lot of times our prayer be wrong. It's not what I want, it's what God knows I need. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we can be just so shallow and say, hey, we're working so hard because this is the person I really want to be with, but that's really not the person that God has for you.
Right.
I mean, but you don't know that. You're just looking at the exterior. You're looking at the outside of what you see. It looks great, looks well put together, but you don't really know the full story. So it's like, that's not who God has for you. Sometimes we block the
Yeah.
blessing and the person that he does have for us because we so dead set on what we dead set on.
Yeah.
So you can mess the order of things up. You can mess up greatly.
Yep. Yep. Thinking you can mess up greatly thinking selfishly,
For
and
sure.
think about yourself, without thinking about others and who has really been there for you and with you, by your side, your ride or dies, and I was going to say that earlier. It's like, even we all got some type of baggage. We all come with baggage. Ain't nobody perfect, and I
No,
think even
we've all been scorned. We've all been hurt.
yes, even after you get married, you still will have some baggage because it's not going away anytime soon. And some of the baggage don't go away at all. But what are you willing to put up with? And how long are you willing to put up with it? Do you see the qualities in that person? Because obviously Bishop Winans must have saw something in her, and she saw something in him for them to
To
be
be
in
patient enough to be together for that long.
for
For
15
sure.
years until they got married. So there was something there. Something had to be present at the time. And then all of a sudden, they get married. So, which I'm happy for them. I am. I'm happy for Bishop Noel Jones whenever he decides he want to get married. But if you are out there and
Yes,
you're
you.
in that relationship, there is nothing wrong with you asking her or him to marry you. There's nothing wrong with you sitting down having that conversation about one's intent.
For sure.
You need to know that because you get all caught up in the relationship and you get all caught up in them, and then all
Because
of
of assumptions. Because of assumptions.
exactly
We assume that we get in relationships now because I want to get married, and that's not everybody's thought process. Some
right.
people are in a relationship because it makes them comfortable and they don't want to be by themselves.
Yep,
They don't want to be married, but they don't want to be alone, and
exactly.
so they want a companionship. And so those conversations have to be had because it's easy to assume, and then be disappointed on the back end.
Yep,
So instead of wasting precious time, hey, I'm digging you, or are you feeling me, or whatever. Like, what are your thoughts about marriage? Are you somebody who is fond of marriage or thinks about it, or is anybody in your family married? These are questions that need to be had if you're in a relationship with the opposite sex or with whoever, and you're thinking about you know what I mean, move it to whatever the next level is, so that you know
Right.
where you stand, where they stand, they know where you stand, and you both kind of know what you want to accept or not.
Yep. Nobody wants to be married to get a divorce. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody ever does that. To get married and then to get a
And no one wants to be led on either. No one wants to be in a relationship assuming or thinking, hey, eventually we're gonna get married. We've been together this long. Like, you don't want to make those kind of assumptions, because your thought process and view is not gonna be someone else's.
right, right. I get that. I mean, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. But my thing is, you got to know what you want. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you want. And how long are you willing to deal with whatever it is that you're willing to deal with? But at the end of the day, conversation is always the key. And maybe they
For
did have
sure.
a conversation. I mean, for 15 years, they had to talk about something.
They talked about a whole lot in 15
They
years.
talked about something.
For
I mean,
sure.
I'm sure when they first started dating, they probably did have conversations about marriage. I'm sure they did. There's no way that being a bishop, a minister, deacon, saints, and friends, that he did not talk about that. I mean, I can't see that. I mean, I
I
can't.
can also, yeah, I can also say that there was definitely whispers or conversations, sidebars about, dang, how long she been with him for a long time? How long she gonna wait?
Yep.
Especially after the 7th year and the 8th year, like, ain't she been with him a long time? Like, she holding on in there, huh?
Yep.
And even those in the congregation feel like they can shoot their shot, because they're like, shoot, he just been with her, he ain't gonna marry her, so I got a shot. So I mean, all of those things are conversations you have to have, and things you have to think about, because people on the outside, they don't know what's going on looking in, but they paying attention.
They are.
They
They are
watching.
watching.
They watching.
It popped up in my YouTube feed, and I was like, "What's the Sam Hill that just happened?" So, um, it is what it is, but we have to maintain and keep things going and keep things moving. But make sure you have conversations. But I know we started late, but I just wanted to come on. We wanted to come on here and just make sure that we at least talk to you guys tonight about,
Sure.
a topic or the topic at hand, and particularly because I'm baffled. So if you're not doing anything, go on YouTube, look it up. Go on Facebook, look it up. I'm sure it's on Instagram, Bishop Marvin Winans. See when he got engaged. They'll tell you he was engaged. I mean, he was in a relationship with her for 15 years, and they just got married. So check it out. And I guess you can't pick up the phone and call them and say, "Hey, what took you 15 years?"
What was y'all doing? Right. What was y'all doing?
So just wanted to come on here and say hello and thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. We'll be back at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we will be doing the third Wednesday in every month. We're going to try to go down to the market and do the wind down Sisterhood Wednesday from the market down on Finley Market. So if you're not doing anything, come down there.
Join us.
It's a
Yeah.
phenomenal place. It's really quaint. It's quiet. But we'll be in the building. So we're going to try to do that once a month
Yeah.
down at the market. So if you're not doing anything on the third Wednesday, 6 to 7, because they close at 7, come on down and have
Stop by.
if you're not
Yes.
doing anything, but definitely thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys enjoy life. Summer is coming, regardless of what you think, it's coming. It'll be here before you know it. So
Yeah.
thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in.
Sure.
Now we get to that point where AJ, I'll send you the message. I'll send you the information.
Yes.
It's every third Wednesday, 6 to 7. We're trying to do a Sisterhood Wednesday. So if we can get down there and do every third Wednesday of the month, that'll be phenomenal. At least
And that's a family market.
at least through the
What's
summer
that
months,
name?
the warm months. If we can get there and do, just tell all your girlfriends, we're coming down, we're doing a Sisterhood, and we're gonna go live from right down there every third Wednesday. and it's on Finley Market, and I'll send you the address, but it's right on Finley Market, right on Finley Market. And I'll send you the information, and with hopes that every female, or, you know, we don't care what color you are, just come down and join us and just have a sisterhood, just talk, you know, just hang out and see each other and have a good time.
Networking. Yeah.
Network, you know, and that's what we're going to do every third Wednesday while it's warm, because I'm not going to be there in the wintertime.
For sure.
I like the cold. I don't like the cold. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for listening. But y'all know it's time for us to talk about positive quotes.
Well, my positive quote is live and love hard. And I say that because there's been so many losses back to back to back. I remember being younger and feeling and seeming as though it'll be a long stretch before you hear about somebody that passed away, whether it was a friend or a family member. It will be a long period of time, and now it's happening as quickly and as often as day and night begin and end. So my positive quote is live and love hard.
Please do. Please do. And I'm going to piggyback on that. Live, love, and laugh. Live, love, and laugh, because there's nothing that brings more joy to the soul than laughter. You know, and love as hard as you can. And at the end of the day, positive in, positive out. And y'all know me. It's always better to give than it is to receive. And we're out of here. We'll see you next Wednesday. Take it easy.
Yes,
Later.